And I actually would love to know, Alex, what does your intuition look like? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, yeah. So I love that you touched on how these things they've always been there.
Yeah.
But and I like to think of intuition, how I try to explain it to people sometimes is it's kind of like a friend that's trying to talk
Mm,
with you. And if your friend is constantly reaching out to you over and over again and you're not listening, you're not paying attention to them, eventually they're going to get quieter and quieter for a while. But when you really start making it known, like, I'm here to listen, or I'm going to listen to what you have to say, then that relationship starts to deepen again. And
yeah.
so I think back to all these times in my life where my intuition has been talking to me. I'm a very, like, I hear a lot of messages. And
Yeah.
so my very first memory of a clear message I heard was when I was in my religion. I was in trouble. I was in the elders room, they call it, and they were just grilling me on these questions, and something just felt really off. And
Mm.
I heard in the middle of that, this is not normal. No one should have this much control over your life. And I
Oh,
heard it. It was very loud and very clear on my right side. And I couldn't ignore it. And so, I finished up my chat with them, my interrogation, and went home and really thought on it. And it was like I acted on it pretty much immediately. Stopped going to the church, stopped, went completely 180 in my life. Later on, I started to hear little things like moved to New Zealand. Absolutely crazy, but I applied for a visa, moved out there for a year, and I started following it on all these really big things. And I didn't really know what it was at the time. I was just getting these feelings, hearing these messages, and going. And so that was my realization with doing this work. I'm like, oh, that's my intuition. Let me like
mm,
really make it clear that I'm listening to it now. And so now when I do breath work, or when I start my day with silence, or just throughout my day, my week, I start to hear these little messages or have these feelings that come up. I do see visions, but more so in like deep breathwork sessions and deep
yeah.
meditations. But I would say feelings and hearing things like that would be the way that I feel like I communicate mainly with my intuition.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing. That is such a really special experience. And I just want to like see you in that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're so welcome.